I'm Selene Speaks and welcome back to my channel. Is the end of DEI really a loss for Black Americans? Or is it exposing a truth that's been ignored for years? Stick around. Just a quick reminder that this is a fair use video. I will be providing my commentary. Let's get started. So a lot of groups are panicking over the ending of diversity, equity, and inclusion programs, better known as DEI. But the reality is that these programs were never really benefiting Black Americans in the first place. In fact, the biggest beneficiaries of DEI were Caucasian women and other groups. If we're being honest, Black Americans benefited last. So let's talk about why this is not the crisis that people are making it out to be. As stated before, DEI stands for Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion. It was created as a corporate and institutional initiative to promote fairness in hiring, education, and leadership opportunities. While it sounded like something that would uplift Black Americans, the reality is that the execution did not match the marketing. And quite honestly, if it walks like a duck and quacks like a duck, it's probably a duck. Let's go a little bit deeper into who actually benefited from DEI. According from official reports from the U.S. Department of Labor, Caucasian women have been the biggest beneficiaries of diversity, equity, and inclusion efforts. Other racial and ethnic groups, including immigrants, also benefited from DEI before Black Americans. And companies have often used DEI as a legal shield to implement surface-level diversity while maintaining the same power structures. And some would argue that it all sounds like one big scam. And I have to address the misinformation about DEI and the Civil Rights Act of 1964. I've been seeing videos where people have been panicking, saying that they're going to lose their civil rights and all this. While we have some people who claim that DEI was an extension of the Civil Rights Act of 1964, that is simply not true. The Civil Rights Act of 1964 is a law, while DEI is a set of corporate and institutional policies that were not legally required. Ending diversity, equity, and inclusion does not undo civil rights protections, nor does it erase equal opportunity laws that are still in place. The fact of the matter is that many people are confusing these two things, which is fueling unnecessary panic. You need to remember that DEI was more of a hiring practice, not a legal protection. DEI was mainly a hiring strategy, meaning that companies could voluntarily choose to implement it, and it never replaced actual workplace protections. In fact, if your protected class rights are violated, you can still file HR complaints or lawsuits. Equal opportunity employment laws still remain in effect. Groups still have legal recourse if they face discrimination in the workplace. And the very last thing that I want to talk about, which is probably one of the most important things, is that Black Americans have always moved forward with or without DEI. History shows that Black Americans have never relied on artificial inclusion efforts to survive and to thrive. From Black Wall Street to the Civil Rights Movement, resilience, number one, and self-sufficiency has always been key to these movements and to our ancestry. While opportunities should be fair for all, Black Americans have a long track record of pushing forward in the face of adversity, even in systems that weren't built in their favor. So instead of mourning the loss of DEI because of the misinformation that you've been fed, start asking yourself, did it ever really serve me? How do you feel about the cancellation of DEI? Do you feel better after knowing that DEI was more of a corporate policy or structure that was implemented within certain workplaces? DEI does not cancel out your civil rights. So give me a thumbs up, subscribe, and don't forget to share this video with anyone else who likes this type of commentary. And I want to thank you again for taking time out of your day to watch this video. Until next time, thanks for watching.